Uh, Good morning, class. In the last class, I had done up to here a right class. They were doing the packing. Isn't it George and Harry is doing the packing? I couldn't find them when they wanted them, and they packed the pies at the bottom and then put heavy things on top of the pies and then smashed the pies tin. Okay, so coming to para number 10. They upset salt over everything, and as for the butter, I never saw two men do more with 1 and 2 pence worth of butter in my whole life than they did. Okay, they upset salt over everything, meaning here the boys, this overturned the can of salt. Okay, on everything they just overturn. Upset here is to overturn salt over everything. And as for the butter, Jerome says that they created a lot of confusion, okay? A lot of confusion with a small piece of butter again. I never saw two men do more with 1 and 2 pence worth of butter in my whole life than they did. Okay, he had not seen anyone create so much mess with butter that was worth 1 and 2 pence, meaning it was a very small piece, okay, as they did, right? And after George had got it off his sleeper, they tried to put it in the kettle. Had got it means to remove. After George removed it off his sleeper, he tried to put it in the kettle. Okay, George removed it from his sleeper and tried to put it into the kettle. Uh, uh, it wouldn't go in, and what was in wouldn't come out. Okay, that it scraped it out at last. Scrap is to drag or pull out. Okay, so as he was unable to do that, okay, it wouldn't go in and it wouldn't come out, that it scrapped, that is to pull it out at last and put it down on the chair. Okay, and he just placed it on a chair, and then Harry sat on it. He sat onto the butter, and the butter stuck to him. Okay, it stuck to him, and they went looking for it all over the room. Okay, looking for the piece of butter. See, coming to 11, I will take my oath. I put it down on the chair, said Joe, staring at the empty seat. Here, I'll take my oath means to sear upon something, okay? I'll take my oath. I swear I put it down on the chair, said Joe, looking at the empty seat. And then, I saw you do it myself not a minute ago, said Harris. Also said that I saw you do it myself, put it on the empty chair not a minute ago. And then they started around the room again looking for it. Okay, and then they met again in the center of the room and stared at one another, looked at one another, empty-handed class. Okay, so most extraordinary thing I ever heard of, said George. So George think that this is the most extraordinary thing, and Harris think that it is so mysterious. Okay, mysterious, strange. And then Joes got round at the back of Harris and saw it. Then somehow Joes happened to see the butter at the back of Harris. Okay, why, here it is all the time, he exclaimed. He announced indignantly, in a manner, okay, indicating anger or annoyance at something perceived as unfair. Okay, so why it is all the time here, here it is all the time, he exclaimed. Where, cried Harris. Where? It was moving around, okay, spinning round. Stand still, can't you, roared George. Okay, flying after him. George is running after him. He cried, okay, will you stand still, can't you? And he was all after Harris, running. And they got it off and packed it in the teapot. At last they packed it in the teapot. Okay, and then coming to 12 para, that you come to another character here. Actually, this is the dog Montmorency. Okay, his name is Montmorency. So it's a dog, okay, a pet dog of Jerome. Okay, class. So Montmorency was in it all. Of course, Montmorency's ambition is in life is to get in the way and be sworn, means to get scolded here. Okay, be sworn at. Okay, Uh, if he can squirm is to twist one's body in anywhere where he particularly is not wanted and be a perfect nuisance. Okay, perfect nuisance here to cause inconvenience or annoyance, okay, and make people mad. But Morency is another character that will make people mad, okay, and have things thrown at his head, then he feels his day has not been wasted, class. So here you are, this one. Montmorency was in it all. Of course, Montmorency's ambition in life is to get in a way and be sworn at. See, Jerome's pet dog Montmorency participated in all this, okay. And what is his aim? His aim was to interrupt everyone, okay. Be sworn at is here scolded, okay. He will interrupt everyone and then get scolded for it. And Jerome adds that if Montmorency was able to twist into a place and create a kind of nuisance by angering people, and get things thrown at him in return, then he felt that he had utilized that day in a good way, okay. So Montmorency's aim was to get people trip over him, okay. Here you okay, trip over him, and then he felt that he had utilized to get somebody to stumble over him here, that is to strip over, okay, to get somebody to stumble over him, that is to trip over. Kind of stumble means to trip over a hurdle, okay. So to get somebody to stumble over him, and curse, that is to scold here again him steadily for an hour, is the highest aim and object, okay. And when he has succeeded in accomplishing this, okay, fulfilling this, his conceit here means pride becomes quite unbearable, class, okay. So Montmorency's aim was to get people trip over him and scold him, and by doing this he felt that he had fulfilled his aim and would feel proud of his achievement, class, okay. He liked to disturb people while walking, it seems, okay. You come to the 13th para, okay. He came and sat down on things. You know, Montmorency will come and sit down on things just when they were wanted to be packed, okay. And he labored upon the fixed belief that whenever Harris and Joe reached out their hands for anything, then it was this cold, damp, means wet nose that they wanted, okay. So Montmorency would bring its cold, wet nose for them, okay. Whenever, you know, Joe's or Harris reached out their hands for anything, then they will touch the Montmorency's nose, okay, wet damp nose, that's it. And so he put his leg into the jam. Montmorency, what will he do? So, okay, kind of, he was a mischievous dog, class. He put his leg into the jam, and he worried, means he disturbed with the teaspoons, okay, and he pretended that the lemons were reds and there were lemons, okay, to be packed. And then Montmorency would pretend is to behave as if something is true when you know that it is not, okay. Well, lemons are not rats, class, but Montmorency pretended that lemons were rats and got into the hamper and killed, okay, crushed or whatever, okay, the lemons, 3 of them, okay, before Harris could land him with a frying pan. He was stopped by Harris, who hit him with a frying pan, class, okay. Land him is to hit or punch someone, class. Now Harris said, I encouraged him. Coming to 14 para, Harris said, I encouraged him. I didn't encourage him. A dog like that doesn't want any kind of encouragement. It's the natural, original sin that is born in him that makes him do things like that, okay. So Harris blamed K.Jerome, okay, for encouraging Montmorency for doing all this kind of mischief. But Jerome says that a dog like Montmorency did not need encouragement. He was born, or it was born to be like that and act like that, okay, class. And at last the packing was done. The packing was done at 12:50, and Harris sat on the big hamper, that's back, and said he hoped nothing would be found broken. And George said that if anything was broken, then it was broken, okay? So which reflection seemed to comfort him. He also said he was ready for bed, and we were all ready for bed. Harris was to sleep with us that night, and we all went upstairs, okay? So at 12:50 class, they had packed the hampers, and Harris sat on it and said that hopefully nothing would break in it, but George was indifferent and said that if something broke, it would not matter, okay? And they were all ready for bed, and they were upstairs, and they all went upstairs to sleep. Okay, so we chose for beds. They all throw themselves lightly or casually, okay, in the bed, and Harris had to sleep with me, he said. And then, do you prefer the inside or the outside, Jerome? So Harris asked Jerome, do you like to, so Harris is going to sleep with Jerome, okay, here. So and then Harris said, do you prefer the inside or the outside, Jay? Do you like to sit inside or outside? I said I generally prefer to sleep inside a bed. And Harry said it was odd, it was strange. George said, what time shall I wake you fellows? Harry said 7, and I said no, 6, because I wanted to write some letters. Here Harris and I had a bit of a row, here an argument over it, about the time, okay? Either it will be at 7 o'clock, they will wake up, or it will be 6. But at last split the difference and said 6:30. Here split the difference means they agreed on 6:30 because it was halfway between 6 and 7, okay class. So wake us at 6:30, George, we said, okay? So Harris and Jerome had a discussion on the time, and finally they settled on 6:30. Is accommodating his time half an hour class here. And then we come to the last paragraph here, 16 para. George met no answer. They said, wake up at 6:30, George. And then George met no answer class. George did not respond why he was asleep, as he was already asleep. And we found on going over that he had been asleep for some time. So we placed the bed where he could tumble into it on getting out in the morning and went to bed ourselves. So class here, Harris and George met mischief, okay? Mischief by playing the bathtub, by placing the bathtub next to George's bed so that he would fall into, okay, out as he woke up on the pretext that this way he would take a bath as soon as he got off class, okay? So done, the story is done, packing is done class. I'll be sending you links, okay?